Okay, we're going to be looking at the Unit 2 review for numerical expressions, and this is just going to be the front side. If there's a particular question that you're looking for, feel free to fast forward to get to where you need to be, but I'm just going to go through each one left to right. So the very first question says, write an expression to show add 12 to the product of 9 and 8. So the strategy that we talked about is we're just going to do much like we do with cubes. I'm going to circle my key number. My number is 12, 9, and 8. I'm going to box my operation word. And now I'm going to evaluate an expression. So I know that the word add tells me that I'm adding 12. So plus 12. And I know that product tells me that I'm looking for the answer when I do what operation? Right, product tells me that I am looking for the answer when I'm multiplying. So I am going to find the product of 9 and 8. Now again, as I had told you before, when you see those word and, that tells you that this operation is going to be performed first, 9 and 8. So I am doing 9 times 8 plus 12. Now, again, this can be done in many different ways. I can have groupings or not. I don't have groupings here because when I do have PEMDAS, I would multiply anyways before I would add, so I don't need groupings. But if you visually want to see them, there they are as well. You could also have it written, so I could write it with the groupings, I can write it without the groupings. And I can even write the 12 first, so 12 added to the product of 9 and 8. And again, with groupings or without groupings, doesn't matter, because in all 4 ways that I wrote this, you can see that with PEMDAS, I would still do the multiplication of the product of 9 and 8 first before I would add. So groupings or not groupings, add in the front or add into the back is not going to make a difference. Any one of those 4 will work. Looking at the one right next to it is much similar, so take a moment, go ahead and circle your important numbers and box your operation words. While you're doing that, I'm going to open up this lovely Dr. Pepper made with real sugar. Not really great for you though, just for the record. Okay, so you should have circled your numbers 9, 5, and 12. Boxed your operation word difference, which tells you to do what operation. Very good, to subtract. And boxed your word multiplied, which tells you to multiply it or times. So this says the difference of 9 and 5. So again, when I see that word and, I need to understand that there are groupings that go around it, and that the word right before it is the operation that's going to go in here. So I'm going to be finding the difference of 9 and 5, and I'm going to be multiplying it by 12. So I want you to go through, take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and find your answer choice. Check it first before you listen to my answer so that you are confident that you can do it on your own in a test. Okay, so let's look at A. Does A show us the difference of 9 and 5 multiplied by 12? It sort of looks like it does, but there's something wrong with letter A. What's wrong with letter A? Right, if you did PEMDAS, and again, I'm just going to write it over to the side as our little visual reminder. If I did PEMDAS, I would have done multiplication first, and I don't want to find the product of 5 and 12 first. I want to find the difference of 9 and 5 first. So this is missing groupings. It does not work. Look at B. Does B work? Very good. B does work. It has the difference of 9 and 5 multiplied by 12. Even though the numbers are in different order, I still am doing the correct order of operations. So I am finding the difference of 9 and 5 first because I have those groupings. Then I'm multiplying it by 12. C does not work because C has us doing the product of 9 and 12, which we don't, of 5 and 12, which we're not looking for. And D does not work because, again, with order of operations, you would be multiplying first, and I don't want to multiply first. I need to find this difference first and then multiply. So your correct answer is B. look at your next question. Your next question is a choose all. These choose alls are on your test. They're the ones that are going to slow you down. So you really need to go through and use your same strategies. It says choose all the statements that can represent this expression 6 times parentheses 12 minus 6. 8 times parentheses 12 minus 6. Whew. I want you to go through and look at just one letter at a time and do the same strategies. Circle your numbers and box your operation words, product and minus. When you do that, then go back and look at it and see if it makes sense. So this says the product of 8 and 12. Does this tell me to multiply 8 and 12? No, so 8 does not work because I'm not looking for the product of 8 and 12. Look at your next one. Your next one, same thing. Only look at just this letter. Only look at B. Circle your numbers and box your operation word. I have difference and I have multiplied. I'll give you a minute to catch up while I drink my lovely Dr. Pepper. It's good. So this one says the difference of 12 and 6. Does my equation say the difference of 12 and 6? Yes, this groupings right here, again, when I see that word and, I know it's going to have groupings around it. And, meaning I have to do this part first. So I have to find the difference of 12 and 6 first. That part was correct. Then it says multiplied by 8. Multiplied by 8, B works. Now I'm not going to move on just yet because I have to check them all through. It's a multi-select, so every single one could be correct. I have to really go through. Okay, go through. Circle your numbers and box your operation words. This one says 12 minus 6 times 8. So the way this one is written, it looks like it would be wrong because it has 6 times 8, and when I have multiplication and subtraction, I would multiply first. But what makes it different is that comma. That comma tells me that I'm going to do that part first, and then just like you see a comma when you're reading, I'm going to pause. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to do the next part. So I'm going to do the 12 minus 6, and I'm going to pause. Then I will multiply it by 8. That's exactly what we did here. We did 12 minus 6, we paused, and then we multiplied by 8. Same thing, so C works as well. Look at D. Go through. Same stuff. The product of 18 minus 12 and 6. First of all, what I noticed is that this says 18 and the number is actually 8, but if the number was correct, and it did say 8, the problem with this one is when I say the product of, that means I should have two numbers, 18 and something, and I don't have 18 and something, so I'm not able to get a product. That one does not work strictly because I cannot get a product without having two numbers, 18 and something else. But again, the number here was wrong as well. Letter E, circle your numbers, box your operation words, times larger. Whoops, I forgot to box my operation words here. I hope you guys did. Take a moment, go through, look at E, see if E makes sense. So 8 times larger than the difference of 12 and 6. Again, 8 times larger than the difference of 12 and 6. Again, since I see that word and, I know that I'm going to be doing this operation here first. I'm going to find the difference of 12 and 6, and I'm going to multiply it by 8. Times larger tells me that I'm multiplying. If it said times less, it's getting smaller, so that would be dividing. Look at the one right next to it. This one gives you word form in many different ways, and you have to match it to the correct expression. It's two expressions that look similar, only that on this one, I'm going to do my addition first because it has groupings. On this one, I'm doing my multiplication first because there are no groupings. So A says the sum of 14 and 6 multiplied by 8. So again, same thing, sum multiplied, circle your numbers. So if I'm wanting to find the sum of 14 and 6 multiplied by 8, would I have groupings? Right, when I say that word and, it's telling me that I'm going to do this operation first. I'm going to do 14 plus 6 first, then multiply it by 8. Which one of those shows us finding the sum of 14 and 6 multiplied by 8? Very good. The second one shows that. The second one has your groupings. Look at B. 8 multiplied by 6, add 14. So again, I see that comma, which tells me what? Right, that comma tells me that I'm going to do that chunk first, and then I'll do the next chunk. So I need to do one that's going to have 18 multiplied by 6, and then add 14. Very good. It's going to go here. This one, again, would have addition first. Look at C. Add 14 to 6 and multiply the sum by 8. So it's telling me that I need to find the sum of here first and then multiply it by 8. So where's it going to go? Very good. It should go on your second expression, and you would draw a line. I'm going to stop drawing lines because I just really want to make sure that you are not just fast forwarding to the answers, but actually listening. So it should go here. This one would show you to find your add 14 and 6, and then to multiply this sum by 8. Look at D. D says 14 more than the product of 6 times 8. So again, the product tells me I have to find this answer and then add the 14. So which one is going to show you finding the product of 6 and 8 and then multiplying that answer? And then adding that number. Very good. It should match here. Here I would find the product of 14 more than the product of, and again, I know this would be the product of because I would multiply before I would add. Look at 8. Circle your numbers, box your operation words. So 18 times is large as the sum of 14 plus 6. Right, when it's telling me to find the sum of, that means I have to find this answer first and then multiply it by 8. So your correct answer here, sum of these two numbers multiplied by 6, straight across. Then look at letter F, circle your numbers, box your operation word. Okay, add 14 to the product of 6 and 8. So again, I have to find that product and then add the 14 to it. So to find that product means I'm going to be multiplying first. That one matches there. Next question, moving on. And actually I'm going to stop the video now. It tends to upload when the videos are shorter, so I'm going to stop where I'm at for now. I'm going to upload this video and then I'm going to add another part, like a part 2 to the video. So be sure to pay attention to part 2.